Right now in Toronto, in GTA, there are a little bit less than about 9,600 listings. The price went up about 1%. This is for all type of properties, which means detached homes, semi-detached townhouses, and condos, condo buildings. It's about 1%, and the average sold price for this one went up in the GTA to 1.1 million. So was 1% higher than in 2023. And so many people are in this situation, and then they call me every week. I got 2-3 calls, and they say, Marius, I have a variable rate. I didn't pay attention. I didn't close it. I said, don't worry, you're not alone. I did it myself too. So they are like using the line of credits in order to pay the mortgage. And they're in a very bad shape. But they told me, I said, Marius, if I sell now the home, I purchased in 2022, now I have to sell less than the purchase price on that point, because the market went down 10%, 15%, in some areas even 20%. And they'll say, okay, let's assume that we are not losing money. Let's assume that I sell for the same money, but they will lose money for basically in some, depending on the location. Imagine where I have to go, because now the rent is very high, and I will pay rent much more than I pay the mortgage right now. So you see, it's a very difficult. So if you sell your home right now, you maybe make some money, maybe you lose some money. But the point is, the rates are so high if you want to rent the same kind of house that you used to own.
And you don't own it.
And you don't own it.
And you pay the same amount.
So it's a very difficult situation. Yeah. And now, because in United States, the inflation is raising. Like even they try to do everything they could, but it's a sign that they don't drop the interest rate very soon. Maybe in the second part of this year. Everybody's like expecting July, August, yes. But the problem is, if the United States is doing like that, Canada is following. So I don't
it's
think
all the time following. That was
with interest rates, yes. You know why? Because let's say the United States is keeping the interest high, and then Canada is going lower. Then most of the investors, let's say, they want to invest in United States. So they don't want to invest here, because here, let's say, there are lower rates, and they're not earning too much if they put their own money, so they will shift to United States. So this is the danger. So for this reason, Canada has to all the time to follow United States, just to be sure that the investors they are not going there and they're investing here. So it's
what we can do, Marius. I mean, we can control for sure. That's a fact. We cannot control, but what do you advise your potential clients or people who I mean, they'll have questions. What should I do? What should I sell? Should I buy? What would be your recommendation?
It's very difficult depending on their what type of job do they have. If it's digital work, it's a little bit easier, because then they can choose, for example, different locations. So let's say they sell in GTA and they need just a good internet connection. They can go like 100 kilometers north or 150 kilometers north in in a cottage country. And there are some areas they still there's still good prices
accessible,
for example, myself, I just have an investment close to Ottawa in a cottage, 60 acres. I purchased for a very, very good price. If that property was in Muskoka, probably was like I don't know, 10 million. So but there was just 1 million. So it's so depending where you are going. So let's say if they decide to go a little bit north, they are digital nomads. They can work from there, or they can even move to another country. Let's say, but it's very dangerous. It's very, very, very radical. Like most of I read now that the Gen Z that were born after 1995. Right now they are like about, I did a research, they are like 20% of the in the buyers market. So they are 20%, but those guys, they prefer to rent first for a couple of weeks, so they didn't enter, to be an owner. They try just to rent, but and they want to buy in a warmer climate. So the today I just read
I
something
know.
on
And my daughter actually bought in Bahamas.
yes,
She's a
so
digital nomad,
the
and
digital nomad, and they decide to go in a climate
because she couldn't
like
afford. And the
yeah.
other problem is not necessarily not making the money. It's the problem is she can't qualify because she's not employed by an employer. So that was another challenge, right? So we
Yeah.
have so many challenges. It's not just this one, honestly.
Yes.
It's more than that.
So and for example, for people that are like around 60 years old, they have to go to retire very soon. Maybe they
Yeah.
have to probably to wait another. They said 2027 in the third quarter. They believe that the market is coming up again, like going on a seller
But
side, seller
nobody-
market, but nobody knows
knows,
because
actually,
you
yeah.
see all the time it's another another problem out overseas. For example, nobody believed that 2 years ago the war starting in Ukraine. Nobody
know.
was thinking about that. And
Yeah.
then in Gaza, like
I
few,
know.
and then we don't know about Taiwan, what's going to happen.
It's an unknown.
A new election in the United States in November this year will be a
Yeah.
challenge. So there are so
That's
many
factors, yeah.
factors that we cannot count on.
Yeah.
So I don't want to give advices because
hard,
it's
yeah,
hard.
yeah.
It's not about us. It's about
You only can present, really. You can
what it
present
is. Yes.
options, and actually the
But
clients can decide what they want to do.
and if they want to retire and to, let's say, downsize or moving back to the country of origin, then they have there, for example, each year has 2-3 months of high sales. Like even in a buyer market, there are some. For example, last year was on February, March, April in 2023.
Okay.
This year, everybody says that will be probably July, August, September. If they drop the rates, if they drop the rates, so that that number of big sales will be on those months. Right now in Toronto, in GTA, there are a little bit less than about 9,600 listings. The price went up about 1%. This is for all type of properties, which means detached homes, semi-detached, townhouses, and condo buildings. It's about 1%, and the average sold price for this one went up in the GTA to 1.1 million. So was 1% higher than in 2023. Okay.
Last year, the same
yes,
period.
but right now we have for the let's say a little bit less under 10,000 listings, we have about 20,000 buyers. They are looking to buy. They are just waiting for the banks to drop the rates, and 20% of those guys, they are like Gen Z. Gen Z, then they're trying to enter in the market, like your daughter or my son.
Yeah, they want to buy, but they can't right
Yes.
now. They don't want to pay that.
They
rate.
don't. Yes.
It's too high, actually.
Yeah. So it's
interesting. Yeah, it's so interesting.
Well, Marius, it's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
How long have you been a real estate agent?
Since 2005.
Yes.
So almost 18 years.
18 years. Listen, you work so hard. You're top 100 agent worldwide, which is fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Scott.
And you don't just help people sell or buy homes. You do the whole pack. How do you know what to do to a house in order to increase its value?
I learn from you.
Okay, so you're a pro then.
Yeah. So I try to, explain people that if they, improve their, like with a new countertop, a new flooring, a new bathroom, a new kitchen, they will, like for each dollar, they will get maybe $1, $2, $3, $4 more.
Yes.
So this is very important.
It's the return on investment.
Exactly.
You want to take care of your clients. You're not just here to help them buy or sell a home. You help them move. You give them renovation tips.
Everything.
It's one of the reasons why you and your family are so successful in this business.
Yes. They give me the keys of the house, and they live in Caribbean for 2 weeks, and when they come back, the house is sold for the most money.
You should have your own show.
No. So I am so busy doing that, but I love it. But it's it's a pleasure to do the best thing for my clients. So.
Well, look, you've seen a lot. You've got a lot of experience, especially in the Markham area. Where do you see the future of real estate in Markham?
Because of the huge immigration in Canada, I think it's a good investment for investors to invest in real estate.
Yes.
And especially in Markham because it's close to Toronto, close to 404. So it's a very very close to Toronto, and the value in long term will go up for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a great investment.
Listen, congratulations on all your success.
Thank you so much, Scott.
You're the best at what you do.
Thank you so much.